Hi everyone, it's Nick. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, in today's video, we are going to be talking about expensive stuff that is worth it for your home. Some stuff is just worth it, okay? It's expensive and it's worth it, and I'm just saying it's worth the investment, pay the extra money, okay? And that's what we're talking about in this video. That is not, if you know me, that is not, I don't say, like, there's a lot of things that are not worth it. Do you know what I mean? Like, do I think that a cloud sofa from RH is worth it? No. Do I think most things from RH are worth it? No. Because ultimately, you know, there's a lot of ripoffs in the interior design world, and people will spend an amazing amount of money for stupid things that I think are probably not worth the money. But that's not what this video is about. This is about stuff that's actually worth spending money on. Now, consider your budget. Don't go into debt for this stuff, okay? I'm just gonna tell you, this is the stuff that I think that if you have the budget and you're considering it, bite the bullet and just pay the money. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a buy once, cry once situation with these guys, and that's what we're gonna be talking about. Let's get going. Okay, first up on my list is gonna be Miele Appliances. So you could say this for a lot of luxury appliance brands, but I'm just gonna single out Miele. Not sponsored, by the way, like, but I'll happily take their money or stuff. Like, I love their stuff. Please, Miele, call me. Because, okay, their stuff is so worth it. I will tell you that in my last apartment, I had, my washer dryer was Miele, my fridge was Miele, my, what is that called? The dishwasher was Miele, and it literally gave me no problems. Everything just worked. It just always worked. It did what it was supposed to do. It was well designed. It never gave me any problems. It never did any weird ticking noises. Looking at you, Panasonic microwave, like, it never did anything super weird. It just did it. It just performed. It never had any problems. I don't know. Your experience, by the way, for this and anything on this might be, you can disagree with my list, but like, you might have a different experience, but I just never had any issues. I can't say the same thing for my Jen Air, which is KitchenAid's luxury brand, which gave me so many problems, but I will save that story for another video that is upcoming. Feel free to like and subscribe. But I have never had any problems with Miele. If you're debating, if you're doing a new kitchen, if you're buying a washer dryer and you're like, is this really worth it? Yeah, it is. It is. I'm sorry, it just is. You know, I can't say that a cheaper brand isn't gonna work for you. It might, and I hope it does, because that would be an amazing place to save money. But if you're debating, do I go Miele or not, and you're really on the fence, just do it. If you have the money, do it. I'm just telling you, it's worth it. Their appliances last forever, and they give you no problems in my personal experience. I just love them. That's not to say I will never like experiment with other brands in the future. Like, you know, Gagano is interesting. Like, there's a lot of really great brands that are out there too. Sub-Zero Wolf, like Thermador, all great brands. But for me, in my personal experience, it's all about Miele. Miele is just that good. Okay, next up on my list is gonna be really large windows. So windows, if this is specifically for a new build, okay? So if you're not doing a new build, well, this is just a fun story. I just think that if you're debating like, oh, do I wanna bite the bullet and get those extra windows? Because windows are, you might not realize until you do a build, really freaking expensive. Like, windows are very expensive. Designers know this, architects know this, builders know this, but maybe you, if you have never done any of those things or you never built a home, you might not realize how expensive windows can be, especially as people are looking at like triple glazed windows now, and they're trying to do passive homes, and they're trying to do, you know, the government regulations and stuff, depending on where you live, are getting stronger and stronger because, you know, we're trying to make homes more environmentally responsible, and all those are wonderful things, but that just means windows are just getting more expensive. Beautiful windows, wood framed windows, whatever, like gorgeous windows are just worth it. And I think I'm specifically talking about large windows, I think are really worth it. This is the moment, if you are investing in your new home, that you cannot really ever change this, right? So if you are doing a build, a brand new build, and you're debating like, is this the area that I need to cheap out? Personally, I think there's other areas that are better for you to cheap out on. Like, I don't know, do you need a $25,000 lighting fixture? No, you do not. Like, you can make do somewhere else with that, but you can never really change out your windows. And if you ever do, it's like a huge hassle, and it's not just like a quick, easy fix, obviously. So, you know, if you're debating it, I would consider getting the supersized large windows. That obviously makes sense. Obviously, you don't want a house of glass necessarily, but like, those windows are beautiful. And if you can get windows, you just get so much natural light in that is just that's never gonna go out of style. Sorry, but natural light is timeless. You heard it here first. That's not really a hot take, but get the big windows if you can. Okay, and in the same vein, talking about construction for a second, I have so many items on this list, you guys, you don't even have time. Grab a glass of wine or a cup of coffee because you're gonna be here for a while. I don't judge either way. What time in the morning? I don't care what time you drink your glass of wine. But listen, the next step is gonna have to be tall ceilings. So in the same vein as the big windows, tall ceilings, okay? Like, if you can get 9-foot ceilings or whatever, if you can get 10-foot ceilings or something, like, obviously there's within its limits, but like, you can never change that. You're never gonna change. For the whole lifespan of that home, for the whole lifespan that you are there, that home is always going to be the height that it is. You can theoretically take a 100-year-old house and raise the foundation and add a big basement. They do that all the time because a lot of those basements were really short and squat, but I wouldn't, like, it's a thing. Like, it obviously, like, it's a thing. Like, to change the ceiling heights in a living space is is not gonna happen. So if you're debating, and it can get challenging, right? Because you're dealing with it's not that easy just to go from like 8 feet to 10 feet. There's a lot more to do with the building, and it does get a lot more expensive. But if you can do it, do it. Because even if you're in a basement and you're looking at your lower floor and you're like, is this the opportunity to cheap out? Again, these are things kind of like the window, you're never gonna be able to change. So if you can get tall ceilings and large windows in your home and you're debating whether or not you can afford it and you're doing a new build, go for it. Okay, moving off of the like new construction thing for a second, I wanna talk about solid wood tables. So solid wood tables, yes, you can make do with a glass table, you can make do with a veneered table, you can make do with all those things, and they're great. I talk about IKEA tables all the time. Well, they're not great. Glass tables suck, you all know that. But like wood tables, like a veneered table, like if you're gonna go out to IKEA and you're gonna get one, like it can be great, and I'm not gonna shame you for it, like go for it. But if you're debating getting beautiful solid wood table in something like, I don't know, like an oak or just like, you know, fantastic. Like just beautiful. Do you know, like if you're gonna get a brand new walnut table in solid wood, it's gorgeous. And these are the things too, is that when you buy and you really invest in quality, you don't necessarily have to be as precious with it. I know you're like, but I'm spending that much money on a table, like I better freaking take care of it. Yes, of course, take care of your stuff. But like when you're dealing with really, really good stuff, it kind of wears in as opposed to wears out, right? So instead of the veneer, which if you get a dent in it or something, you can actually see underneath the veneer, that's never really gonna look good. And there's no really great way to fix that, obviously depending on the dent and whatever. But if you've got a solid wood table, that's the type of stuff you hand down to your kids. That's the type of stuff, styles permitting, that you hand down to your grandkids. You know what I mean? Like this is stuff that's gonna be there for a long time, and it is so worth it. It looks beautiful, it looks gorgeous, it feels different, it's weighty, it's gonna be a centerpiece in your dining area or in your kitchen. It's just fantastic, and it is worth it if you can afford to do it. Obviously, don't go into credit card debt for any of this stuff, okay? But like, this is the moment where if you are considering like, do I go for solid wood or am I okay with the veneer? Do I save a few grand? I'm just saying that if you can do it, go for a solid wood table. It is worth it, in my opinion. Next up on my list is gonna be a gas fireplace. So there's a lot of talk about gas fireplaces, I feel like, depending on where you live, obviously because gas is a non-renewable resource. And so there's a lot of questions around the environmental impact of gas fireplaces, as there should be. Wood fireplaces have oftentimes gone away because that is oftentimes was known as the real fireplace back in the day. But you know, then people were cleaning their chimneys and flumes and things, and then they were catching on fire and they were a real high fire hazard. So they moved over to gas, which was a lot safer. But let's be honest, gas, as I said, is not a renewable resource. And so people are phasing out gas fireplaces. So I hesitated putting this on this list for that reason, but I still think I'm just gonna say that if you are desperate for a fireplace and you want one and you're like, is it worth it? Or should I go for like a little cheapy electric one? Pause the environment for a second. Yeah, I'm sorry, but a gas fireplace is better. Like it's just I'm sorry, those little electric fireplaces, I can't stand them. In my new home that I'm building, I'm not gonna put in a gas fireplace. I would love a fireplace, but for the environmental reasons, and also, wait, I think they're just like straight up banned in the city that I live in. We can't do them anymore. So would I put in an electric one? People are like, what about an electric one? No, those things are, sorry, but they're just not good. You know, maybe there's better ones that are coming out, but I'm sorry, the ones with like the little blue glass on the bottom, the little fakey flames. No, I'm sorry, those are not great. Those are not great. So I don't love those, and those are never worth it. If you can afford the gas fireplace, because again, it's gonna be more expensive, and you're comfortable with the fact that this is a non-renewable resource and potentially a technology that is gonna be completely sort of phased out in probably 10, 20 years, depending on where you live, it's worth it. A gas fireplace is infinitely better than an electric one. I would rather have no fireplace than an electric fireplace, in my opinion. If you're gonna go for it and you're gonna do the big mantle and you're gonna really do it up and you're gonna do a gorgeous, amazing fireplace, just put in a gas fireplace. Okay, next on my list is going to be Le Creuset Cookware. Okay, so as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of America's Test Kitchen. Call me and I would happily come on your channel to like test salsas or something. Like, I don't know what I would do there. I have no skills, but like bring me in, please. I love America's Test Kitchen, and they of course recommend the Le Creuset Cookware, as do I, because I recommend that everything they have. OXO Good Grips, by the way, wins like every single competition that they have on that channel, but whatever. Love the Le Creuset Cookware because it is beautiful. Now, let's be honest, like not only is it beautiful and has like sort of a little like French country vibe, which you wouldn't think I necessarily like, but I actually kind of really do. But I think that specifically looking at their cast iron, okay? Specifically looking at their Dutch oven, okay? So let's get even more, you know, the braziers are great and stuff like that is all wonderful as well and fabulous. But you know, yes, the ceramics, the porcelain stuff is also really nice. I think it's porcelain, but like that stuff is also really nice as well. But let's be honest, we're talking about the cast iron. Yes, you're either a Staub person or you're a Le Creuset person. I'm a Le Creuset person. I'm sorry, it's like Coke and Pepsi to me. That is my Coke. I'm sorry, Pepsi people. I'm sorry, Staub snob people, but you're just not there. It's like Nintendo and Sega, okay? We all have our preferences, and I'm a Le Creuset person, so I can't speak to the snob people. Take it up with me in the comment section. But Le Creuset lasts a lifetime. This is the stuff that you have, you invest once. When you cook with it, it makes sense. When you move your little spoon in there, it doesn't fly around your stove. It's not super light, but it's also not super heavy where it's difficult to maneuver around. It is solid. Some little barkeeper's friend on there, and you can get that thing looking gorgeous and beautiful. It doesn't chip like any of the other ones that are out there. It's just fantastic cookware and will last you forever. So this is, again, buy once, cry once for your home. Buy the Le Creuset Dutch oven. My color personally is meringue. Obviously, you'd expect that from me. And, you know, just have fun with it because Le Creuset is amazing. Specifically, of course, the cast iron stuff. Okay, next on my list is going to be natural stone. Natural stone is expensive, very much so. And I'm including quartzite, which is having a moment. I feel like everyone's like obsessed with quartzite right now. If you wanted to know what is like the stone of the moment, it's Taj Mahal, which is a quartzite. People just go crazy for that one, which I like it as well. But like quartzite's amazing. People love quartzite. People love marble. Granite is, I still think granite is really cool. I've seen some great contemporary designs with granite. I think granite is really cool. It's got a lot of like a lot of people don't like it because they think it's like a 2004 Tuscan kitchen, which I totally understand that perspective. But I do still think that it's a beautiful natural stone because it comes from nature, and nature is oftentimes gorgeous. So that is my point, really. Natural stone is amazing. It is timeless. It is worth it. So long as you take care of it. Yes, you're probably gonna have to seal it, or don't seal it if you don't feel like it. Just don't be surprised when you spill some tomato sauce and now you have a little shadow on your natural stone forever and ever. But like, take care of your stuff, people. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful and whatever. Would I get porcelain countertops? Would I shame a person for getting quartz? No, I had quartz in my last place. Quartz is fine. Personally, I wouldn't do it. I also, if all you can afford is laminate, or all you want to do the butcher block because you like the look, go for it. No one's shaming you for any of the stuff if you want to find cheaper alternatives. I'm just saying natural stone is worth it. It's just worth it. It's beautiful. It's like, it just feels different when you're looking at it. It just is, you know, it's just gorgeous to look at. It's gorgeous to touch. It's just a fantastic material that is oftentimes, depending of course on the marble versus quartzite versus whatever, but like generally it's a very hard material, so therefore makes sense for work surfaces. Depending, it can also, some are harder than others. Generally it's heat resistant as well. And it just is really beautiful and makes sense for a functional countertop. Also, of course, natural stone is gorgeous and beautiful in other applications. So for example, a coffee table or a dining table, assuming you didn't get a solid wood one. What other applications? I love it in like in a niche. Like I love like a natural stone slab at like the back of some built-ins. I think that is a gorgeous look in a bar. If you wanted to do like a coffee bar or whatever in your, you know, in your dining area, fantastic. Like lots of different interesting applications for natural stone in tile, for example, to be used in a bathroom or something. Natural stone to me is like art for your home. I know there's art, which is art, but like, I'm sorry, but when your material choice is that gorgeous, you don't need to do anything else. And as a person who typically leans a little bit more on the minimal stuff and minimalist and not so maximalist in my approach, I just think that if you're going to be very careful and very particular about what you put in your home, which you should be, then, you know, and you're editing and you're not just putting in crap and you're putting in stuff that you really, really enjoy, investing in that quality, especially in something like a natural stone, is beautiful and timeless and always gonna look good. Okay, next on my list is gonna be hardwood and engineered hardwood flooring. Yes, there is laminate. Yes, there is luxury vinyl plank. Not gonna shame anybody for those use cases as well, right? They can be really beautiful and wonderful. For me, I'm always gonna pick engineered hardwood. I'm just gonna say, people are just like, but we make really nice laminates that you wouldn't be able to tell. I can tell. I can tell, and I'm sorry. It's great for other people. I understand it's like a few bucks a square foot as opposed to probably something like $8 to $10 a square foot, which is what engineered hardwood's gonna be. I understand it. I get all the applications. I get the benefits of luxury vinyl plank. I understand that it's like waterproof. And I understand that if you have spills and it's great for kids and it's great for basements and it's great for whatever, older pets and blah, 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 whatever, a leaking dishwasher. I understand. I've seen it all. I've made videos on the subject. Like, I get it. But like, that doesn't make me an expert. I make videos on lots of things that I don't really know what I'm talking about. But you know, still, like, I've researched it. And despite all that, I'm still gonna choose engineered hardwood because it is beautiful. It is natural. You can actually see the grain of the wood and it's amazing. Would I like hardwood floors as well? For sure. Of course I would love real hardwood floors. Amazing. But it's not practical for lots of different reasons that I won't get into in this video because that would be a whole nother video. But I would say that for me, I'm probably gonna choose engineered hardwood, or if I could, if I'm feeling bold, hardwood itself. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna choose engineered hardwood. It's real wood. When you touch it, when you're barefoot, you can actually feel the grain of the wood. It matters. Yes, they mimic that in luxury vinyl plank. No, I'm sorry, but putting vinyl records on your floor is not going to imitate the same thing as engineered hardwood. It's just not the same. Real wood has a warmth, has just an energy, a life to it. I mean, I'm getting a little abstract here, but it's just beautiful and gorgeous. And it is the foundation for your home that is going going to exist for the forever and ever. So I would just always pick it. It is worth it. There's a warmth and a comfort there that is just timeless and gorgeous, and you're never going to regret it. So yes, it's a bit more expensive. By a bit, I mean 2 to 3 times the price, but in my opinion, very, very, very worth it. Okay, next on my list is going to be a hand knotted rug. So there are lots of cheap rugs that are out there. Okay, there's ones that are essentially made of plastic. There are ones that are the shag rugs, the Costco special, which you've heard me talk about many times on the channel, which we've all fallen prey to. But eventually you realize that a rug should last you a lot longer than 6 months before it looks like crap. And the way to do that is to get an actual beautiful hand knotted rug. Getting something that is beautiful and has hopefully an amazing pattern that is something you really enjoy. I oftentimes think that rugs, not saying you should always get a neutral rug, obviously get a style that really works for you. I think the more patterned, the more intricate, the more colorful, oftentimes as tastes and colors and style preferences and sort of things change, if you're spending this much money on a rug, it might necessarily, rugs are expensive. And so maybe, choose something a little bit more on the neutral side, something that you're not gonna get sick of. I shouldn't say neutral, I should just say something that you're not gonna get sick of in years to come. If you do that, then a hand knotted rug will last you a lifetime. It will last you a very, very long time. This is something that you can go and get clean that's not going to fall apart, right? This is something you can either try to clean yourself, but with like a machine that you can rent or whatever, or you can go and actually take it to a rug place and they can go and professionally clean it. And then you can do that, probably you should be doing that, maybe once a year, maybe once every couple of years to get it done properly. That's kind of the rotation that I'm sort of doing, probably, once every couple of years, let's be honest. And that's kind of a good place to start, I think, to really care for a rug like this. But yes, it's a lot more expensive, but I think it is worth it. It's that foundation of your living room or your bedroom or whatever room you're talking about. It's that foundation that everything sort of sits on top of. When you feel it, when you touch it, it just provides sort of a warmth and comfort there that is worth it, as opposed to something that is a little bit more plasticky or something that is just gonna fall apart. So these rugs that you're getting every year or two, although not necessarily bad, like if it's what you can afford, like again, like there's cute rugs at IKEA and there's cute rugs at all these places and they're wonderful. It's worth it if you're gonna go, if you have the budget, that's key. If you have the budget and you're willing to be like, okay, this is an investment piece that is something that I'm going to carry with me for years and years and years and years, and I want to make sure that I really, really enjoy it for years and years and years to come. Could be wool, could be, different fabrics, whatever. I did a video about 4,000 years ago on how to choose a rug, so feel free to check that one out. But that type of stuff, once you sort of choose those, you choose a quality rug and something like a wool or whatever, that will last you a very, very, very long time. You will be sitting here with this rug, hopefully for years down the road, maybe decades down the road, and you'll pass it down to somebody else. Absolutely beautiful and gorgeous, and kind of like think of it as artwork for your floor. And therefore, in that sense, it is worth it. Okay, and then next up on my list is gonna be sort of Phillips Hue light bulbs or any sort of smart light bulb system. So the Phillips Hue is sort of the most famous one. It works very well. IKEA has a really great system. Like there's lots of different ones that are out there. And obviously they're more expensive than just the light switch and then just putting a regular old bulb that you got from like Home Depot or Lowe's or something. But I do think that being the ability to be able to adjust your color temperature, the smart sort of features that you can sort of sync together. Aren't we just basically using the smart home like A and G? I'm not gonna say their names because then they're all gonna activate in your home and that's mean. But like, aren't we just basically using those for timers and adjusting light switches? Like I think that's pretty much all we're pretty using them for. So if you invest though in these sort of light bulb systems, you've got dimmers, you've got color temperature, and you've got like a smart system that are able to sort of set up. And I think for me, that's worth it. Yes, they're more expensive and it's to invest in some of this technology. And color me a skeptic when it comes to a lot of the home technology, home tech stuff that's coming out right now, because I think a lot of it looks really dated and is not actually all that useful. Please see Samsung fridge with a giant laptop screen or tablet or iPad, whatever that they've got in the door. Like, I'm skeptical of all this stuff, but I will say the light switch stuff actually is really nice, because when you do invest in that, I just think like you're able to control everything from your voice, which is nice. You're able to control your dimmers, because sometime in the day, let's be honest, let's say your dining room table, let's say your kids are doing some work at the dining room table, you're gonna want the lights turned up, right? So you can do that really easily there because you got it on a dimmer right there on your app. And then, you have company coming over and you now wanna dim the lights. Like dimmers are fantastic. Your ability to control your light is huge, and your ability to do it via your phone or whatever is of course even better. And color temperature as well, right? So typically as humans, we should have lighter, brighter light in the morning to sort of replicate what we get in the sun. And then as you get a little bit like further into the evening, oftentimes you want sort of a softer, warmer light in the evening to sort of help your brain kind of mimic a sunset a little bit, so that you're sort of, following your circadian rhythm so that you actually get ready for sleep. So there's ways that you can kind of adjust all of that by using the Phillips Hue or any of these different systems that are out there. And in my opinion, yes, they are a lot more expensive than sticking in a regular light bulb, but I think it's worth it. Okay, that's it for me today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I'm gonna link here to my latest video so you can go check that one out, because I hope you really enjoyed some of these items that are a bit more expensive, but ultimately I think are actually worth it. So check out that video right here, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye.